The 2021 MLB draft has been wrapped up for a minute now. In today's video, I'm going to look ahead to the 2022 Major League Baseball draft, and I'm going to do a way too early edition of the 2022 MLB mock draft. We're only going to do the top 20 picks, and yeah, that's what I'm going to do in today's video. But before I get into this video, a lot of you that watch these videos are not subscribed, so go ahead and get your life together and hit that subscribe button, turn notifications, and leave a like. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into this video. We're going to do the standings as of right now at the time of filming this video on Saturday the 18th. So let's go ahead and get into this video with the first overall pick by just a little teeny bit. The Orioles have it, and they select Dylan Lesko, a starting pitcher out of Buford High School in Georgia. He compares to me as a Michael Kopech type player, just in my opinion. I think that he is just a Michael Kopech type player. He can throw the ball hard, and he's got a mid-90s fastball and his plus changeup, which really stands out, and he has good spin to his breaking ball as well. He's committed to Vanderbilt, but I think if you're getting selected with the first overall pick by the Orioles, then you're going to go there. They have a lot of talent in the infield, which is why Jace Young is not the select here. Elijah Green also is a candidate here, but I doubt they select three outfielders 3 years in a row. They've selected Colton Cowser and Heston Kjerstad with high picks with their last two picks. With the second overall pick in the 2022 MLB mock draft, the Arizona Diamondbacks select Jace Young out of Texas Tech University, second baseman / third baseman. Yes, he is the brother of Josh Young, who was the number 8 overall choice in the 2019 draft by the Texas Rangers, and he can hit the cover off the ball. This is a guy that is just going to hit for a high average and is a really, really good player, Jace Young is. And this is a player that the Diamondbacks should definitely, I think, select if you get the number 2 overall pick. Even with the number 1 overall pick for that matter, he's the best player in the draft, in my opinion, in 2022 as of right now. For Texas Tech, he had 21 home runs, 67 RBIs, and a .337 batting average. Great year for Jace Young. He's the second overall pick in my mock draft. With the third pick, the Rangers get an absolute steal here. They select Elijah Green, outfielder, IMG Academy High School, Florida. Elijah Green compares to me as a Lewis Brinson type player. Now, I know that's going to sound crazy for a lot of people, like he's going to be a bust and he's the third overall pick. No. I think that he's that way just because, but he's going to be better than Lewis Brinson, obviously. I think he will be. They think that he's going to play center field for a very long time, and he's got the impressive raw power that he has, and probably not the best raw power in this draft. Tamar Johnson, coming out of Mays High School in Georgia, definitely, I think, has that right now. But for the Rangers here, getting him, the last 2 drafts, their second-round picks have been outfielders in Aaron Zavala and Evan Carter. They have selected some outfielders, but Elijah Green could be that superstar in center field. And they've selected, like I said, somebody similar to this with Lewis Brinson before. With the fourth pick, the Pittsburgh Pirates select Jackson Ferris, also out of IMG Academy High School in Florida, starting pitcher. Jackson Ferris is not a guy that is going to blow you away with his stuff. He's not going to throw 100 miles per hour, but Jackson Ferris is a very good pitcher. And, yeah, he's coming out of IMG Academy. He does have a college commitment to Mississippi. He's in the mid-90s, and a good breaking ball as well. Like I said, and he's the best prep lefty in the class, pretty much by far, or not by far. Tristan Smith probably would give him a good run, but still, Jackson Ferris is very, very good. He's also out of IMG Academy. So yeah, the Pirates, they've got a stacked infield, and they're pretty set as far as position players. They definitely need to look pitching here. And at number 4, they get a very solid left-handed pitcher. At number 5, the Washington Nationals select Tamar Johnson out of Mays High School in Georgia, second baseman / shortstop. He's the second best player in the draft, in my opinion. He has raw power, similar to Khalil Watson of last year's draft, I think. But Tamar Johnson is got way more power and is going to go way higher than Khalil Watson was, even if he didn't fall in the draft. And he's the best pure bat in high school right now. And he has a ton of power and is going to be a solid defender. We could see him move to second base, which might make you think that the Orioles would take him at number 1 or something, but who knows? Next up, the Marlins select Jacob Berry, third baseman / first baseman out of Louisiana State. Jacob Berry is a guy that fits in pretty well. And he raked at Arizona in his freshman year with a 352 batting average, 17 home runs. And then he headed to Louisiana State. Then he went to Arizona and had a 352 batting average with 17 home runs and like 70 RBIs. He is a very, very good player and somebody the Marlins could definitely use. I mean, they could play him at third base or first base. They don't have a ton of talent in their infield besides Khalil Watson, obviously, and a third baseman / first baseman would definitely be someone they would be looking for. For the Twins next, it was a hard pick for me. I have them going with Daniel Suzak, catcher, Arizona. Now, they have a ton of pitching, and I think that Daniel Suzak, definitely the top catching prospect in the college class, it has potential to really be good defensively, possibly, but he needs to work on his receiving and blocking from what the scouts are really saying. But he can hit the cover off the ball. 335 batting average, 12 home runs. I feel like this draft has a lot of guys that really hit for a high batting average, and yeah. Next up, the Chicago Cubs select Carter Young, shortstop out of Vanderbilt University. I think this is definitely where the Cubs go with the future shortstop because they're realistically probably not going to bring back Javi Baez. In 2020, did not play at all. And in 2021, 16 home runs, 52 RBIs at a 252 batting average, 341 on base, 559 slugging percentage, and an 899 OPS. Carter Young is definitely one of the better shortstops in this class. And yeah. Next up, the next selection, the Royals select Drew Jones, outfielder, West Lane High School, Georgia. He is somehow related to Andrew Jones. I know that. And this is somebody who is coming out of high school, obviously. He's another college commitment, Vanderbilt. And yeah. One scout even said about Drew Jones that he would give him 60 grades on everything in a 20 to 80 scale, if that tells you how good he is. Drew Jones is a very, very good player, and the Royals would be definitely happy with this selection. Next up, the Rockies select Jason Jones, shortstop, Braswell High School, Texas. Every draft seems to have one of these guys that's from Texas that's a very, very good player. It seems to happen every time in these drafts. And this is a guy that I think is either going to go in the top 20 or is going to fall down like big, big time. And Jason Jones, the next pick at number, I don't know, I think it's like 13 or something. The Tigers select Brooks Lee, shortstop out of Cal Poly. So Brooks Lee missed an entire season back in 2020, I think. And he even drew first-round interest out of high school in 2019. And he earned in 2021 Big West Co-Player of the Year honors after batting 342 with a 384 on base and a 626 slugging percentage with 10 home runs. And he had a great year there, and he definitely is going to be – he's definitely going to be in one of the top picks. I mean, he could even go higher than this if we're being honest. Next up, this is a little bit of a crazy one, but I'm doing it kind of just for the fun, but like also I think it kind of could be realistic. With the 13th selection or 12th, the 12th, I think. The Mets select Kumar Rocker, starting pitcher of Vanderbilt. So we know that they went with him last year with their 10th overall pick. That did not work out. That's a big loss for the Mets, but they just get the same guy back just a year later here. And they basically don't get a pick. I don't know if they get their other pick too. I'm not sure about that. But if so, I think they would have the next pick too. But which I think they will. But yeah, so the Mets here, you get the same player that you were going to get in 2020 and Kumar Rocker. And yeah, I mean, Kumar Rocker definitely had some shoulder issues that weren't reported, and that's really why he fell in the draft. The Mets were happy with that selection, and Mets fans were riding high for a while about that selection, but it didn't work out because of the shoulder issues with Kumar. And people were skeptical anyways. He couldn't really throw strikes. He kind of was choking in the biggest moments. Next up, it's the Mets selection again. I'm pretty sure, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see here. Yeah, it's the Mets selection again here, and the Mets with this selection are going to go with starting pitcher Brock Porter out of St. Lake Mary's High School in Michigan, or what will be out of Michigan come draft time. Brock Porter has got a great fastball, up to 97 miles per hour. And this is a guy that a lot of people are going to be very, very excited to see with his other teammate from Michigan. Brock Porter has a great fastball and has got a good feel for his changeup and a big, big breaking ball. And some people even think that he could give Dylan Lesko a run for his money. Next up, the Angels select Tristan Smith, starting pitcher out of Bowling Springs High School in South Carolina. This is probably the second best left-hander in this draft right now. And, Tristan Smith is a guy that the Angels would be pretty happy with. They drafted another lefty back in 2020 with Reed Detmers. But I think they would be pretty happy with this pick right here. A pretty good value pick because some people think Tristan Smith could go really high. It's think a little lower. Next up, the Cleveland baseball team selects JT Richie out of Bainbridge High School, starting pitcher. And so for JT Richie has 4 good pitches with his fastball, his slider, changeup, and his curveball. And that the curveball's really been his best pitch in the past. And his college commitment, he's committed to go to UCLA. Next up, we have the Phillies, and they select Landon Sims, a relief pitcher out of Mississippi State. For the last couple of years, the Phillies have with starting pitchers, and I think that could change now. So for Landon Sims, he can throw the ball very hard, and he saved 13 games with a 1.44 ERA for the 2021 College World Series champions, and he's got a 98 mile per hour fastball, a slider, and they really think he has the stuff, command, and competitiveness to quickly become a big league closer. And the Phillies don't have that. They could definitely use that, and Landon Sims would be a phenomenal pick here, I think. Next up, the Padres select Brock Jones, outfielder, Stanford. Brock Jones is one of the top prospects as far as in the college class right now, and he's got a little more power than another Stanford guy, South Frillick, did last year. 311 batting average, 14 steals and 18 home runs this spring. Brock Jones, I don't know if he'll continue that power, but this is a guy in Brock Jones that could be a very solid player, and the Padres, I think, would definitely think about selecting him here. Next up, the Cincinnati Reds select Brandon Berea, starting pitcher, American Heritage High School, Florida. He is a guy that is going to probably go realistically, probably about in the top 20 range. He's going to be a first rounder most likely. But yeah, so for Brandon Berea, he is ranked number 7 in the top high school prospects on MLB.com. And he's got a fastball up to 96, has a good slider, and a solid feel for a changeup. Um, what they're hoping with Brandon Berea is that for his starts that he's going to start being able to go longer into starts, or he's going to be more of like a, I guess, longer reliever because he's got the stuff to probably be like an 8th or 9th inning guy, but they're hoping that he can kind of get his innings up and that could raise his draft stock if he gets that up. Next up, the Braves select Peyton Pallett, starting pitcher, Arkansas. Sorry that there's so many starting pitchers, but that's realistically what I think would happen right here. So, for Peyton Pallett, he has a great fastball at 99, is the highest it's been to. He had a 4.02 ERA in 56 innings before getting hurt, but he also could have been hurt during that time, so you don't really know there. But he really was a big part of Arkansas being ranked number 1 for most of the college season and might have won the national title if Pallett actually didn't go down in May. So this is a very good pick for the Braves. And the final one, the Cardinals select Bryce Hubbard, left-hander out of Florida State. Bryce Hubbard is a guy that is very much so fringe top 20. Definitely could go top 20, but who knows on that. I mean, actually, quick pick change here. The Cardinals actually select Robert Moore, second baseman of Arkansas. Arkansas is a very good team, and he's been a 2-year starter for the Razorbacks, batting .283 with 16 home runs this spring. And he's been really good, Robert Moore has. He's the son of Royals GM Dayton Moore, so maybe, he takes his own son there at like number 10 or whatever they had. But, yeah, he has solid speed, and he's pretty savvy on the bases as well as quick feet and hands in the infield. And, yeah, maybe he even moves to and he's probably just going to stay at second base, honestly. That's the most realistic thing for him. So, yeah, that is my way too early 2022 MLB mock draft. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and turn notifications because, like I said, a lot of you that watch these videos are not subscribed. So go ahead, get your life together, hit that subscribe button, turn notifications, and like. Thank you for watching, and peace.